create a convention that we felt like was truly built from the ground up to be very inclusive of everyone, like make everyone feel like they really belong in the world of fandom, because they do. Everybody deserves a seat at the table and deserves to feel comfortable and safe attending events, and not to be shut out of like networking opportunities and fun stuff to do. So that was the original impetus, and it's been so much fun that we keep doing it, just because it's the number of awesome people that we've met along the way, and just how much everyone, including us, looks forward to that weekend in October every year. It's not that big a stretch to say that sometimes people do go and then come out a little bit changed on the other side of it, and at least in terms of their new friends and their new thoughts on things, and like rejuvenated inspiration.
Like the conversations is what Jesse means. When you come out of it and you've had all of these amazing conversations that you don't necessarily get to have in everyday life, people who are smart and funny and usually quite goofy, and it's becoming a family.
There's a special spirit that comes with being part of this convention, and it is in this episode that we divine to capture that essence with two artists who embody that spirit. First, we have fantasy author Paige L. Christie, and then we get back into shape with some chaotic good fitness, and finally we welcome in horror fantasy author Ray Gwaltney, and we investigate how to become part of something we talked about in an earlier episode, presenting at the Learn Track. We're doing all that tonight on the Spotlight series on the Multiverse with your host, Joe Compton. Hello, everybody. Yes, welcome to Spotlight on the Multiverse. I am Joe Compton, and yes, I have the one and only, the awesome Paige L. Christie with me today, and I'm super excited about it. And she's one of my favorite peoples, and I always like to start, Paige, by just giving you the opportunity to expand upon the intro and tell everybody a little bit about yourself. So please feel free to do so.
Well, I'm Paige L. Christie. As I say always, I have the L in there because I have two first names and spent my life being called Christy Page. So I answer to either, but the first name is in fact Paige. I write epic fantasy with a feminist overtone, contemporary fantasy with a feminist overtone. Can you see a theme here? Yeah, and my big exciting news is just last week I got my rights back to my Legacies of Arnon feminist Western with Dragons series, and I'm in the process of relaunching all the books, and the first book went live yesterday. So I'm very, very excited about that. So yeah, yay! And I'm a huge fan of Multiverse. I went to the first one and sat through opening ceremonies, and by the end of opening ceremonies, I was like, I've been doing cons for over 20 years, and where has this been all my life? I was an hour in, and I knew I was never going to miss one, and I haven't. And so, yeah, it's my happy place, my favorite thing in the world. So yeah, good times.
I'm gonna speak out of turn here and just say, if you have not read Dragon Weather, you are missing out. It is one of my favorite books of all time. I just absolutely love the book to death, and I'm somehow, some way going to get back into 2, 3, and 4 and read all of the books and get them all going again, because yeah, look at that cover, beautiful.
So excited. Anyway, I'll stop. That's enough of my promo.
We'll talk a lot. We'll talk a little bit about that in a little bit. I want to make sure everybody, as we say hi to everybody. There's A.F. Stewart. There's Vanessa. Jesse is with us. Elizabeth is with us. Jesse says, "Hey, cool shirt." Yes, very cool. Table.
I don't know if you know, but Jesse designed that logo.
Oh, did he? Nice.
Uh-huh.
Cool. I did not know that. Wow.
Now you do.
Yes. New cover is sick. Yes, it is. Hello, everybody. Hello,
Hi, Holly.
The cover is relaunched Dragon Weather. It looks amazing. Yay, Paige. Woo! It so does. It does. It really does. I had the privilege of seeing it before it actually came out, and I was like blown away. I think I almost fell out of my chair if I'm right about that page, if
Yeah.
I remember correctly.
Yeah, I've been real happy with the artist. So yeah, very happy. But yes, we're here to talk about multiverse
Yes,
because
yes, yes, yes. You were at the first one. You are an OMV, which I call original multiversian, and because OG doesn't vibe with multiverse.
no, it doesn't.
OMV is much more prevalent for multiverse, I believe, and you know it's it's an amazing thing that is going on right now in the multiverse spectrum. And I wanted to kind of start our conversation because we talked last year about why you love it and everything like that, and
Mhm.
I'm sure we'll touch upon that as well. But I am curious. Uh, we're in a point where we're all going to be doing something fresh and new this year. This is going to be a new experience for all of us.
Yeah.
So those that are coming in brand new to this, very brand new, like never been to multiverse before. How do you think? What is your advice to them to come into this as somebody who's going to also be coming into something new, a new experience as well, with a new hotel and everything?
I would say just expect a lot of excitement. There's going to be so much just happy to be in this space energy that those of us who've been, this will be the third hotel for multiverse, and hopefully it'll be the one we stay at for a good while because the energy is amazing, the lighting is amazing. I love it. The outdoor space is fantastic. I love the fact that I feel like I'm in the woods, but I'm 5 minutes from everything, anything you could want, any kind of food, anything, you name it. It's 5 minutes away, and yet you feel like you're in this isolated retreat. The way the hotel is surrounded by trees and stuff, it's just beautiful. And so the excitement of those of us who are ready to be there, I think is going to be palpable. And I think just join it. Don't feel like you're not part of that, because if you're coming to this event for the first time, it wants you to be excited. The people, we all want you to be excited. The space is going to beg for you to be excited. Feel free to just stand in the hallway and listen to people laughing, and then go join in. Expect excitement, and expect that you're going to be welcome to be excited, because we all are going to be. So, and I don't read as introvert when I'm with my tribe, as they say. That's not the right word anymore. But when I'm with my people, I don't read as introverted, but I'm extremely introverted. So I know how hard it can be to walk into a new situation. And so one thing I would say is that if you need someone to say hello to, come find me. I'm going to be on panels. I'm going to be in Author's Alley. I'm going to be wherever the cuddle couches are, wherever they be. You will find me there after hours. Don't feel like you can't come up and say hello to me. I will make space for you. And I think that's true of a lot of people there. So if you've got questions, if you're not certain, if you just need to, stand and not have to think about something for a little while and want to come hide behind my table, that's fine. I want to welcome you if you're coming in for the first time to just reach out and say, hey, I don't know very many jokes, and the ones I do are all elephant jokes and all bad, but I will tell them to you.
If nothing else, come up to Paige and talk about potatoes, because that's the running inside joke at Multiverse. So.
Yeah, Rob still has potato socks because of that.
Well, yeah. As Multiverse welcomes newbies, absolutely. Yeah, I think that's one of the really cool things about Multiverse. I think Multiverse is really the first design con that I've been a part of in multiple sessions that has really kind of decided right off the bat that we're going to change it up a little bit every year, and we're going to have new blood. We're going to have new people come and join us. And, while we're embracing that we're all family and that we're all part of this, it is nice that when the opportunity presents itself, that there is welcoming mats for the new family members as well. Expect to find your people, Tater Squad. Squad.
There might be a little potato thing.
All right, so
Multiverse.
Yeah, it might be. Yeah. I am curious. What are you looking forward to most this year? Is there something new that you're going to try? Is there something you're going to venture into? Is there something you've been wanting to do for a while that you're going to try? As I've said personally, my thing is, I've got to get to the crafts room and do some crafting. I've said that every year, and nobody's held me to it yet, even though people have told me they would.
Well,
but
as per last year, I ended up crafting at my table. So, I went to the crafts room and got stuff, and then came back to my table and did it there. So it's kind of a thing, because I like to make random crap. And everybody can run screaming right now, but I've been thinking that I might actually have a glass of scotch and try karaoke. It is my dirty secret that the only other time I did karaoke, I was booed off the stage.
Well, that's not going to happen here.
Well, when you stand up to sing "Stop in the Name of Love" with two other women, and the only words you can remember are "stop," it does not go well. So I'm looking for redemption, and I can't sing.
You sure scotch is going to be
okay?
You sure scotch is going to be the thing that remedies that, though?
No, but I might not care.
He's excited about the hotel balconies. Yes,
I am excited about the hotel room balconies. I've been on and on about that. All the rooms have balconies. All of them. Every single one. I'm so excited about that. I want to get a big puffy something and sit out late at night with some LED candles and a glass of wine and on the balcony and with some friends and just chill out. It's one of the things I want to do this year. So, it's a part of the plan now.
All right, I'm gonna make sure that I'm available for that for sure. But
yes, BYOP. Bring your own pillow.
I love it. Yeah, it's really fascinating because karaoke is awesome. I have yet to get up there yet because every time the thing about the karaoke is it was going on with other stuff going on, and I was constantly moving around at that point and just hanging out. I did get up. I got up last year and did Time Warp. So I was part of the 16 people that got up and did that last year. But
I love it.
But other than that, I've been honing what I want to do for karaoke for a long time, and I've been holding on to it, and I just haven't gotten the opportunity to go up there. So we'll see. I mean, I'm just happy to be in that room. I think the energy in that room on that night, on that particular event, is so amazing, and we're all singing regardless. Even if we're not up there singing, we're all in the crowd singing.
Yeah.
It's another one of those things about Multiverse that I just think is so unique about it, is that we just, have no fucks to give. So we all just go in there and just do what we want to do. And everybody's on board with it. Right. And it's so cool about that, and we're doing it within the confines of the code of conduct, obviously. But what I'm saying is more so that it's just a sewing circle all the time. It is so amazing that there's just so much energy going around the entire room, not just on the stage in the paneling aspect of it. It is always interactive, no matter what.
Yeah,
really cool.
And as always, I got the guest survey to fill out for what panels I wanted to be on this year.
Yeah,
it's like I want to be on these 27 panels, but I also want to be in the audience for these 40.
Yeah.
And what the hell am I supposed to do? Because there's only one of me, and I have to be selling books at my table, and I've got to be. And what am I? So, only issue I have with Multiverse, and it's the best problem to have, is I want to be 4 places at once.
Yeah.
And and I used to say that at Dragon Con. I did Dragon for 22 years, you know,
Yeah.
and there was always 18 million things happening at Dragon Con, but there's 18 million tracks and 18 million things happening at Dragon Con. To feel like that at a small convention the size of Multiverse is astounding.
It really is.
So the only problem you're going to have at Multiverse is deciding which of the amazing things you're going to do right now.
Yeah, and
that includes eating the really good food at all the restaurants around. And the con suite, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
The con suite is ridiculous. So it's just how do you decide what you're going to do right now? That's where people are going to get stopped. So look at the schedule in advance and like narrow down your top 10 things, because it's going to take you a while. Don't show up there and think you're going to figure it out day of, because as soon as that schedule drops, start making decisions, because holy cats.
And I would say for the late night stuff too, be flexible. You can go in and out. I mean, just be cognizant of not interrupting anything. But if you were very careful about it, you can go in and out. Oh, who am I kidding? I just stop right into a room. I don't know. But other than me, don't be like me. Don't use me.
Don't be like me. Oh, go ahead and be like Joe. He's awesome. So, but you can. The late night stuff you can filter in and out of because it's so interactive. Sorry, not sorry. Yes, we love you too, Vanessa. Thank you for the awesome programming. I'm super excited. As per usual, put me where you need me. And I tell Multiverse every year. I apply as a guest every year, and I may or may not get in, as per always. And I tell them every single year, I'm going to be there anyway. I'm going to be there regardless of whether or not I'm a guest. If you need to slide new people in and slide some of us who've been there a while out, I'm going to be there anyway. Yeah. I'm just going to be going to more things. it's all good. And so, it's one of those spaces that once you enter it, you really don't want to leave it. You sure as heck don't want to leave. I had a really strange experience last year. I had to leave Multiverse earlier than normal because I had another convention I needed to be at, which shall remain unnamed. And it was like whiplash. It was such a different space. It could not have been more different than Multiverse. And I was just shell-shocked for the first 2 days of the convention. And I was just like, oh, this is not happening again. I'm never leaving Multiverse early, and I'm never going from Multiverse to anything else without a break in between, because the mindset and the energy that you gather at Multiverse, you want to hang on to that. You don't want to have it pushed aside. And so, I realized the error of my ways, and it won't happen again.
It's why 4 a.m. is not an uncommon time to see me out on the patio. I mean, it's just I hang on to that as long as I can.
I'm hoping that there are cuddle couches, Jesse. I'm still in demand of cuddle couches. Don't make me buy couches.
They had some benches out there the last time I was out there. Vanessa and I actually talked about that a little bit, because I'm not above purchasing collapsible furniture for this thing if I have to. So I mean, it's a thing. The only thing I'm truly gonna miss is the fire pits. That's the only thing I'm gonna miss about.
They could. Who knows? If enough of us say, "Hey, please," they could get fire pits. We don't know what the hotel's going to do between now and then. I mean, I saw it last year.
Yeah,
things could be very different by the time we get there in October, and I have high hopes, and there are balconies, so I'm good.
And that's the cool. Yeah, that's the cool thing too. Is like this hotel is very much about having Multiverse there, and is really accommodating and wants to be a partner, right? And that's really a really cool thing. That's something unique that hasn't happened for Multiverse before. So.
And when they actually encounter all of our awesomeness in full blossom, it's just going to get better from there.
Absolutely.
So I'm really excited for this year. One of the things that really I noticed when we were touring the hotel, because I got to sneak in with a group of folks that went and toured it early, not long after the contract had been signed. And the thing that leaped out at me is how most of rooms have incredible natural light. And not the kind of natural light that beats in and overheats the room because it's surrounded by trees. And so it's this soft, natural, even illumination that just it makes the spaces really, really welcoming, and you don't feel like you're just under neon and buzzing lights the whole time. It's really, really nice. It's a very comfortable series of rooms. I think the layout's going to take a little getting used to because we're used to the other hotel.
Yeah.
So we're all going to be running around going, do you know where X is? So all the new people, all of us who've been there before, we're going to be asking the same questions you are. So it's fine.
Yep.
So,
Good time to be new.
we're all new. We're all new in this space. So yeah, don't be shy to go, where is that? We can all go figure it out together. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm really, really excited. And of course, and the thing I always look forward to is seeing the people. And learning from people who I wouldn't see under other circumstances, people from different backgrounds and different ways of thinking about things, and artists and academics and people who've had a wide range of experiences and different lives than mine, and they're super interesting and super friendly, and they want to tell you what they think. And oh my God, you can talk to people forever, and then you forget to sleep, and then it's 2 a.m. and you're like, I need a Cheeto. And it's just, I feel like if I could clone myself for any reason, it would be for that event. So I could be everywhere at once, talking to everyone at once.
Vanessa says the sales team from the new hotel actually came to Multiverse last year to experience the con. So they have a taste. They have a small taste.
Oh, they have a taste, but they don't know.
Yeah. Wait till they get the full picture, right?
I know, it's going to be great. And I can't wait for the rest of the staff. I always really like when I'm at an event and the hotel staff are on board with the event.
Yeah.
Because some cons, the hotel staff is so excited for the event to come in every year that you can tell. They are just all about it, and they get so excited. And I hope that can develop in this space, because when the hotel staff are excited, then everything just works so beautifully. And hotel staff get, well, frankly, hotel staff get a lot of abuse from a lot of people who don't like their air conditioning, or their towel was folded wrong, or can you tell I used to work in hospitality? And to a group like Multiverse, I think treating a hotel with respect earns respect. And I really feel like that mutual respect, I think, can form in this space. And I'm kind of excited about that possibility as well, because it's so much fun when the hotel staff get in on things and come through after work and are hanging out, and I just get a kick out of it.
Yeah, one of the things we've never talked about actually on this show is how well a first impression Multiverse makes. And it's an incredible first impression. So I think that's going to be the case here as well. And Jesse says, never overlook or underestimate the hotel staff. Let's make them happy and let them know that we appreciate them. Absolutely.
Yep. Absolutely. It means everything. Those people work hard in the service industry, and I've spent, I guess technically I'm still in the service industry. It's just a different kind of service industry. I spent, 25 years in service industry, and it's really hard work. And for people to be at work, if we can give people in the space when they're at work something to smile about, even if it's just the cosplay, I mean, it's good for everybody, And so I'm really excited to bring a convention like Multiverse into a new space, and kind of get the folks who will create that space physically for us in that regard to be, part of the family too.
Yeah.
Because I think that matters. And it's absolutely possible, because that's the whole point of Multiverse, is everybody's welcome, And so I think we need to consider that in this new space as well. And I think that's going to be part of a goal of mine, to talk to the staff and let them know how excited we are to be there. I mean, I've done that some when we did the tour. I was a little bit vocal in my excitement as as per usual about me. But yeah, I'm thrilled at the prospect of welcoming the hotel staff as fans of the convention as well. So I think that's a really fun thought.
You've been through an interesting journey. Let's shift gears a little bit. So, Multiverse is very grateful to have you, and very thankful to have you, of course. But we're also thankful to have these wonderful books of yours and what you've been doing, and you've been fighting this good fight for so long, and now you've won. And so, talk a little bit about how you feel about getting these books back out there and giving them the proper a reception that they deserve.
Well, it's like it's 8 parts excitement and 2 parts terror, because it's like, okay, now it's up to me. Now it's up to me to prove that these books are as frankly good as I think they are, and that I can find them the audience that they've not found before. That's my responsibility now. And it's fully my responsibility in a way that it's never been before. But I've got more options than I ever had before to be able to make that happen. Straight up, this right here would not be in my hands today if it were not for my multiversarians. And I will tell you, and a lot of them are, I think, watching this. I had, with the help of a multiversarian, crafted an email to request the return of the rights for the series, and actually got the go ahead, but I was very paranoid. But it required me buying back all the stock that the publisher had of the original books and the original covers, and it was a goodly amount of money. And it was a amount of money I thought I could. Thanks, Holly. That I thought I could raise. Keep all my bills paid and raise in a while, and that I could make it happen. And I was at Con Carolinas and was talking about how I was going to do that. And one of my multiversarian friends said, "Don't go worrying about that just yet." And I was sitting in the bar at Con Carolinas, and I got an email from another multiversarian, which was a screenshot of a GoFundMe account that a bunch of my multiverse people had put together to raise the money so that I could cut that check immediately and get my rights back. Done and done. Because of this group of people that you will meet at Multiverse, and who are absolutely astounding human beings. And so I got the check sent out. I got all the books purchased. They're sitting piled up over there. I don't know what to do with them. And also thanks to the Multiversarian crew, I had started the process of cover hunting and formatting books long before I even sent the email. And I got the rights back on, I think, Monday of this week, and the books went live. The first book went live yesterday. So, and it would not have happened without the support and encouragement of love of the Multiverse crew. And I adore you all, and you know who you are. And I'm terrified and excited all at once. And I just got samples of covers 2 and 3 tonight, and so hopefully I'll get those done in the next few weeks, and I'll have all the books out by the end of the month is my goal. So, oh my god, I'm so excited, and now I have a lot of work to do to do advertising and get these books into the hands of people who I think will enjoy them. So yeah,
I've already spoken to Paige about we're going to be doing a spotlight here in Godey now for the series, and talking about it. So I'm real excited about that, because we're going to delve deep into it, because as I've already mentioned, it's one of my favorite books of all time, and it's not hyperbole. It's really way up there. I think what you have done with fantasy is everything that I've always hoped fantasy would be, because I've had trouble with reading fantasy in the past. And so the way that you've crafted it is exactly how I really hope it catches fire so that I can enjoy a lot more fantasy, because I just think it's brilliant. I just think the pacing is so amazing, and everything about it is absolutely spot on. So
Well, I'm so glad you enjoyed it. I think I think that's a good series, and I had a lot of fun writing them. And the good news is that with my rights back, I now am free to write more in this world, which I was not before. So there might be more. So, yay! I'm so excited.
that is awesome.
Yeah.
Kind of fantasy books I wish I had read as a young girl. Yeah, absolutely.
Aw.
Yeah.
Part of writing stuff like this is writing stuff you wish you'd had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really the emphasis for writing, right? Is you write what you want to read, right?
It really, really is. And you write things, or at least I do, write things that make me feel while I'm writing the way I want to feel when I'm reading a book.
I love
which
that.
Tells you a lot about me if you've read my books. So you want to know who I am, read my books. But yeah, it's a long journey, and there were, I mean, I guess that's the other thing to say about these books is that I never thought they'd exist.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd had the basic story in my head for decades, but my writing style is not considered commercially viable by a lot of people because I don't write the way a lot of people write. And so I figured nobody'd want to read it. Nobody'd want to read the way I write. And so I just wrote for me. And my dear friend Ellen talked me out of that notion, and the books exist. And that's a whole story unto itself, and the whole way I learned to write, taught myself to write, because let me tell you, there's a lot of people out there who teach writing, who cannot teach writing. And it nearly killed me. But that's for another conversation. So yeah, it's pretty miraculous that they exist at all. And the last few years have been one heck of a journey. And probably after this, I'm going to jump back on the Friday night multiverse call, where I was before this, and talk some more over there. We were having fairly intense conversation, as sometimes happens over there. You never know whether you're going to get really bad elephant jokes or philosophy, and tonight was philosophy. So yeah, so 7:00 Friday nights. Sometimes it's later now. We tend to be on there more like 7:30 or 8 these days, even though it officially sort of opens at 7. The Discord channel. If you want,
I would be there, but I'm here.
You were here, yeah. If for folks who are watching this for the first time and haven't jumped on that goes year round, and it's a good place to jump in and listen to some wacky people talking about wacky things. And yeah, everybody's welcome to jump in there too and check us out. We sometimes, like I said, sometimes we're a little rowdy and sometimes we're a little meta, and you never know what you're going to get. So just be prepared. But yeah.
So tell everybody where they can find your lovely work and to get this first book that's now live.
Well, for the first time I've gone wide. So the books previously were only available on Amazon, and I went wide. So if you use Smashwords, if you use Kobo, if you use Overdrive for libraries, Biblioteca, any of that out there, I went wide with the books digitally. So any of those services, I think the only one it's not up on now is Apple Books, because I had to adjust something for their terms of service. And it's not up there yet, but it's pretty much everywhere else digitally. It is still also on Kindle, and it is available. The hardback is available on Amazon, the paperback rather. And I'm working on getting it up on Ingram Spark, so it'll be available on other venues as well. But I've got to make some adjustments to the cover to make that happen. So we're getting there slowly. So if you want a paper copy, right now it's Amazon, or call me and email me. I'm Paige L. Christie pretty much everywhere out there. So you can track me down on social media.
And you'll be able to get a signed copy at Multiverse, everybody.
Yes, you'll be able to get a signed copy at Multiverse, hopefully the full series. And I will have a certain number of the original covers in full sets that I'm going to be selling at a discount. So if if you just want the whole story and the cover isn't your thing right now, and you just want all the books, they're going to be discounted as a set at Multiverse. And then I'm probably, if you know any libraries who would like a copy of book 1, I've got several copies of book 1 in the original cover, and I'm pretty much thinking I'm just going to send that to libraries. So if anybody's got a library they want that book for, let me know, and I'll make that happen. So yeah, there's a lot going on there, and I'm super excited.
Well, we're excited.
So come see me at Multiverse and buy books. And
we're
have fun.
excited for you, and I can't wait to see you again, my friend. Thank you so much for doing this and being a part of it. It's been awesome, as always. Nice conversation, and we'll talk soon.
All right. Have a good night, Joe.
All right. We're going to do some chaotic good fitness here, and then we got Ray Gwaltney coming right next.
And hi, Ray, in advance. You're awesome.
Regardless what's out there for you, your body is your temple. Isn't it time for you to take control of your own fitness and well-being? To tell your story. In Dungeons & Dragons, Chaotic Good is a character alignment that reflects one whose heart is pure, but who does not take the law at face value. They question authority and forge their own path based on their own value system and morals. They value freedom and individuality over social norms and rules. CG Fitness views fitness and health in the same way. We are client-centered, body-positive. We focus on the individual client's needs and goals without trying to fit them into the standards set up by the fitness industry. Each client has a unique background, goal, and body that deserves to be valued and considered when working together. We don't expect all of our clients to look, act, and feel or need the same thing. Some clients want weight loss programs. Some join us for the pain management and reduction. Others have worked with us for pre-surgical body change needs. No matter why you come to us, we will find a way to help you level up. There is no one-size-fits-all magical answer to fitness and health goals, and there is no one-size-fits-all body shape. There's no quick, easy route to take. Making health improvements is hard work, but we are here to guide you through the journey. CG Fitness is about making improvements at your pace for you. So now let's pull out your character sheet and roll for that initiative. So if you're interested in how Kira and her team can help you, you can go to chaoticgoodfitness.com/services. So choose your path to better health and good fitness and tell your own story at chaoticgoodfitness.com. We're back. Hi, Ray. Nice to see you.
Hi. Mic's all working and everything?
Yeah, you're good. You sound
all
great.
Right, good.
You hear me okay, everything?
We're all good.
All right. So I always love to start the conversation by having my guests introduce themselves real quickly. So give everybody a little intro about you and what you write and who you are.
Okay, so I'm Ray Gwaltney. I spell it a little odd, but it's Ray. And I am a writer of horror and fantasy and dark fantasy. I like my romance, but it's tucked into other stories. And I just have to say right out, because I'll bring it up like 12 times probably. I'm also a disabled author, and a lot, not all, but a lot of what I write usually has some amount of wanting to represent that in many available facets and explore the types of stories that can be told that way. People are starting to dig into that more, and I love it. But we're barely scratching the surface right now. So that's what I do. I also do sensitivity readings and writing consulting for people and starting up that business as well.
Nice. Were you part of the original one? Did you go from the first con to Multiverse?
Actually, no. It was really interesting. I watched I like from the first 3 minutes of Pages, and she's a what do we call original multiverse person. This
Yeah,
will be my
a
first con.
Lordy.
And I am so excited. I've known Vanessa for a while. I've known Paige for a while, and recently, this past Jordan Con, I actually happened to meet Rob Grimoire, and I'm in a writing like critique group with him, and he's amazing, by the way. I love working with him on writing.
Yeah, bro.
But yeah, so I'm just slowly acquiring more and more friends from Multiverse, and like I missed one because life, like I've heard about it too late. But then I had to, whether or not I got accepted as a guest, I had to come from everything I've been hearing about it.
Yeah, we met last year at Con Carolinas, you
We
and
did, yeah.
I. Yeah, yeah. So you're a first timer then.
Yep.
That's
And
fantastic.
strangely not nervous. Weird, but I mean,
Definitely.
it's not even that weird because everyone is so, like, you just know from all of the people that are involved in making it happen that it's just going to be the best vibes and the best time. And hey, I'm bringing it up, and it's probably going to be one of the most disability inclusive cons that I have experienced to date. I just did their guest form earlier
So
today, actually,
yeah.
and it just seems like all of the representation that's available, and all of the ways that they communicate, both through email and the written word and everything. And like, there's so much effort going in, and there's like so much kindness that's overflowing right now in there. So,
That's awesome. Is there a specific panel that you're really looking forward to, hoping to be on?
oh man, there were. Okay, so I started with
I know that's a
because
trick
I want
question.
to manage my energy. I started with the first page. I was like, the maximum amount. I haven't guested to too many cons yet. I don't have my rhythm down yet. So I was like, my maximum amount is going to be 6. And then I got like 2 more pages into it, and I was like, I got to go back. And I have to kick that one up because there were too many. But there was one in particular that was called Othering in Horror, I think. It might have been horror, it might have been a different one, but I believe it was horror.
No, it
And
was. Yeah, yeah.
and I actually have a background in social work education. So I have my BSW, and I have the disability and I have other identities. But the thing I did actually is that I almost got a minor in ethics, and I did undergraduate research, and the title of that was like othering of women in media. And so like I did undergrad, and I was just like, oh my God, I want to be on that panel. I want to like dig back into my research. I want to talk about not just women, but like LGBT and disability, and to the extent that is possible, I want to highlight and uplift, race stuff as well. And whoever is available to talk about, like, that is a huge passion of mine since before I decided to really pursue like writing fiction and publishing fiction, is just understanding and analyzing and making efforts to undo the othering of certain identities that's in our media, and like really make sure people get this incredibly complicated issue. So I would love to be on that panel in particular.
Are you impressed with the advocacy of multiverse? Is that something that you think is really strong at from
um
what you experienced?
well, from what I've experienced, absolutely. All of the people I know individually, they have been like champions for me. I mean,
Mm,
they have been the reasons I've been able to physically survive other cons, especially as I haven't even known exactly what to prepare for. Like I said, I've only been doing this for 2 years, going to cons and seminars like physically, and travel is hard. Uh, and they have just been there finding me information I need, getting me rides I need, like making sure I get the rest I need,
that's
emotional support. And then I haven't experienced multiverse yet. I have all the highest hopes in the world. And, my experience is that no one advocates for disabled people as well as disabled people do.
mm,
But these are the people who are gonna be set up so that if I feel like something is lacking or something isn't quite hitting the mark, like there's no way I can't go to any number of these people and say, hey, I actually would benefit from this thing, and is
mm.
there a way we can work on it? And that's really the most valuable thing for me in any advocacy. Thank you,
Jesse,
Jesse.
Because we're happy to have you. Absolutely, we are. And I think meeting a bunch of people who are involved with multiverse probably helps soften the
Mhm.
blow a little bit as well, right?
Yes, very, very much. I wouldn't even call it a blow. I hate the travel. I've loved every con that I've been to. And
Yeah, I'm
usually I'm
sorry. I
so
used the wrong term. I apologize.
I don't know. It's just usually I'm so happy to be around like what I consider my people. Um,
Mm,
that a little known fact or slightly more known fact these days, like levels of stress are almost like one to one with levels of pain, and
mm.
usually like I have to plan well and I have to make sure I have my needs met and then I have to recover after a con. But usually at cons, I feel physically the best I do all the time, and I
Mm.
totally blame that on the people that I'm interacting with. So,
Yeah, I mean, there's something to be said for adrenaline and endorphins, and you just being in an atmosphere where you feel like
yeah,
you're comfortable, right? And
very much. Yeah.
yeah. And Jesse says, please always feel free to let us know how we can do better to support disabled attendees and guests. We will do as much of this work as on our own as we can, but we always want to improve.
That's perfect. I mean, I foresee being a long-term attendee of Multiverse Guest or not, and I have a big mouth. I was literally trained to be an advocate, and I will communicate with people. I will do whatever efforts I can do to help improve things as much as that is welcome, um, to any extent. So yeah, perfect.
Yeah, I think I was real excited to see you on the guest list this year because all the
Thank you.
conversations that we had were very. It was just very educational, very eye opening, and you
Sorry,
were
I just saw a chat.
yeah, Rob. Rob says
Hi,
hello.
Rob.
But I just feel like you know a little bit of that sprinkled into multiverse is a good
Mhm,
thing. I think that's something that is very important, and so you know I think also one of the things that multiverse recognizes very well is the self. And
mhm,
if you are true to yourself, and it allows you to be true to yourself, which is great, the environment opens up for that. But if
mhm.
you're true to yourself, do you find that being true to yourself is a really important aspect of who you are and what you want to be about?
Well, I mean, are you good for like a short, long list of
Please.
who I am? Yes, because I identify as gender fluid. I am autistic. I am disabled in multiple ways. I am femme. I am a absolute geek, nerd, writer, introvert, like all of these things, and a dog lover. I have one right behind me. And I almost, this is funny, I almost took her out of the room in preparation for the interview. And then I stopped and I was like, wait a second. What am I hiding the fact that I raise dogs? So yes, being
It wouldn't
there.
be a show without them. So
Yes. There are people, and I don't think anyone or almost no one like professionally isn't themselves or like is lying or deceiving, but there are some people who
right.
are able to put on their hats and like, compartmentalize, and then
Yeah.
there's me, and I think that has a lot to do with the autism. And I can't function for more than a couple weeks in any area well unless I am allowed to be the kindest version of myself possible, but to be myself. And so where I go and the efforts I put in and all of that is very much with my limited energy. That's just always to the places that let me do that and let me flourish. So
I find that cons bring that energy too. That
mhm,
atmosphere gets created. You become guarded, or you become, you know, I hate to say that some people become jaded because that I don't know why you'd be jaded being at an experience like that. I mean, to be able to come to an experience like this, not just multiverse, but any con,
mhm.
is a privilege. It's an absolute beautiful thing. It's something that a lot of people in life don't get an opportunity to do, and
I
so
agree.
to be guarded, to be jaded. I don't know what your purpose would be to be there. Other than making an appearance and just
Yeah,
it's
as a
a lot to.
professional, I would want to be as open as possible, and like to an extent, coming from like fully agreeing with you, I would be coming from a place where you still have to be prepared for people to not exactly know how to meet your needs and stuff.
Sure.
You're not exactly going to be guarded, but you're going to be prepared, and you're
Sure.
going to be like, I'll stand my ground a little bit. But yeah, you have to be open. You have to be joyful. And you know, if something goes wrong or if you get sick. I mean, the first conference I ever went to, I believe it was Superstars. It was like the social night they were having, and 30 minutes into it, I was on the ground and someone had to help me get back to my room. But like I still had like this joyful time being out and just being around many, many accepting, supportive writers, right? So yeah, I getting
There's-
bitter or jaded or anything like that, it doesn't really serve you.
Yeah.
So long as, you know, so long as you understand that you also deserve the respect that
Yep.
that you need, and you understand that you deserve to ask for it, you know. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, and the con should foster that environment as well, I think,
Yes. And
because
yeah, it is the responsibility of the con to do that. I haven't had any experiences where a con has like
nor have I.
barred me or not supported me purposefully or anything like that, you know. We're all working on it.
You know, I want to talk a bit about you and your journey as a writer, because
Mhm.
you've just come into this and you're just beginning your journey. How has it been for you? What have you enjoyed the most about taking on this challenge and winning with it?
Okay. I have to say the most surprising thing, I used to swear up and down and sideways that I would never be able to write short stories. And
Mm,
due to the support of other authors and pointing me out where to go and teaching me how to submit, my first publication is actually in a short story anthology, a horror short story. It's called They Hunt by Night. And strangely enough, the most joyful part of the process is I have never been able to work with a professional editor before on an entire piece of my work. And Lynn Worthen was just like on it. She like had spreadsheets and she told us exactly what to expect when, and she was so prompt and she was so great. Her edits were on point. She had quick and easy conversations when we were like, that doesn't feel like my style, that doesn't feel like my voice. And like, so that was my first experience of working with another professional on a project that ended up published. And I didn't expect it to be a chore, but I didn't
mm.
expect it to be the part that made me so excited and elated. And I was like, this is very doable for me. Like if this feels like this, then it's very doable for me to continue doing this work and putting in the effort and time.
What
Because
is
you
it?
know, we all hate writing sometimes, but
Yeah, don't have to tell me. Yeah, it can be laborious at best
hmm
sometimes. You know, I, I'm curious what led you to horror. What was it about horror that spoke to you so loudly?
Okay, minor heavy warning, but like I'm one of the people who's dealt with certain types of trauma in the past. I actually have amnesia for a segment of my life because of
Mm,
trauma. And you know, there's so many different ways to heal. Some people try to go find the joyful fuzzy things in life, and I was the person who was like, I have phobias, I'm going to go stare at pictures of them. I have, you know, PTSD. I'm going to read stories and I'm going to read research and I'm going to take classes and I'm going to write characters that are experiencing and processing this type of thing. And it was really of um, my way of processing.
mm,
And it was not, I mean, for me, like I said earlier, I always value good representation and making sure that other people can see. But really, for me, horror comes from the fact that I have very dark things in my life that I have to work through. And there's just, I can tease out this emotion here and I can tease out that archetypal scare here. And for the story that I got published, it's actually about the whole anthology is about monsters that hunt by night. They hunt by night.
mhm.
Just monster stories. And I decided they said do something different, and I was like, you know what? I've had sleep paralysis my entire life. I've experienced it my entire life. So what if I just wrote one of the legends of sleep paralysis monsters. I actually pulled from several different cultures, and I was like, what are some of the major threads, and how can I really form a cohesive thematic story with it? But yeah, that's where it comes from. Life throws you crap, and sometimes you write about it.
Well, that being said, have you found the horror community or the horror audience to be welcoming and bring in? Do you feel like
Some of the
diversity?
kindest, yes, some of the kindest, most diverse, most compassionate, supportive authors. I have been other horror authors. I believe you know Trisha Wooldridge.
Sure.
Yes, she's done a little. She didn't do like full editing, but she's looked at some of my horror as well to help give me pointers and help me work with it and point me places that I can go with it. And yes, the community has. I am still working on my ability to step into communities, especially when
Mhm.
on my long periods at home. But every time
Yeah.
I touch base, it's just seamless. Yeah.
Are you a fan of horror? Do you like horror? Or
Uh,
is it too traumatic to kind of
No, I
experience?
I read horror. I watch horror. I had to do some work because I also have a panic disorder. But so I had to do some work to make sure it was is mentally healthy for me. And anyone who's interested but gets panic attacks, like do the work, go in slow, play a video game while you have an easy one on the side, like that sort of thing. But like I've always loved the deep, deep catharsis that comes from difficult stories, the heartbreak and the terror and the
Mm,
gruesome and sometimes the horrible. And it's it's not my happy place, but
sure.
it's it's some of the most powerful stuff to me. So yeah, I do a lot of reading in horror, especially dark fantasy and novels, but horror short stories, love them. Horror shows, watch them all the time.
Is there a particular fandom that you subscribe to in terms of dark fantasy or horror?
um, well, anything Mike Flanagan, I gotta say.
Uh,
Any of Mike Flanagan stuff. I also have I've watched all of Black Mirror several times. Um, I was about to say Hush, but that's also Mike Flanagan. Uh, Trisha Wooldridge writes horror, and she's a wonderful writer. I've done some sensitivity reading for her as well, and yeah, I'm a fan of hers as well.
Nice. That's
So yeah, I so much more than that. But sometimes I have a hard time recalling specific names. Yeah. Yes, Mike.
Mike.
Yes.
So with your fantasy stuff, it tends to be on the darker side as well.
Yes, it's not but it can be a range. I recently wrote a more twist on a paladin story, which is
Hmm.
is more of oath keeping, grappling with one's identity when you're immortal but not technically a god, but people are trying to tell you you're a god, and you're like, how do you keep your own internal morals when people keep trying to lift you up because of where you are in life? And so I don't always grapple with the really heavy scary stuff, especially in my novels. um, but my fantasy can run the gauntlet. It's a really good genre to use to explore more community-based disability stuff as well, when you're starting to build worlds, and you can find so many allegories to different types of ability, differences in ability. um, I like to explore all that different stuff. I also, like I said, I like to write romance, and fantasy romances are strong subplots and otherwise strong plots. They're my thing. I just love a couple that's saving the world together. Or
I love that. I love the idea that nothing's black and white, right? And there's
hmm
there's grays and everything, but to have a fun side and a dark side, it comes
absolutely,
hand in
yeah,
hand. You have to have both. Yeah, it's that balance, right? And that
yeah,
balance really leads to really intense storytelling, really good storytelling, ultimately.
yeah. I'm trying to remember what I. There was a book I read recently. It's not on my shelf. Um, but any story, I'm sure you can think of one. For some reason, the only one I can think of right now is Firefly, but there's so many others I've watched recently that are not Joss Whedon. But any story that respects the characters enough to give them depths of emotion. Yes, thank you, Doug. And also cares about the audience enough to give them well-timed comedy and well-timed fun, and like give them a 5-minute scene where everyone's just being kind of stupid, found family with each other. Like, I have both sides, and the horror short stories are like all darkness, but with a good story, for me, you're treating humanity as human and you're gonna run the gauntlet while respecting, like, without being silly with your comedy and without being, exploitative with your pain. I feel like almost every good story is going to have room for that.
I agree. 1000%. I agree. Jesse says you might have a great time. You're going to have a great time in the horror track, which I know you will as well. And you might love the Monster Mash. That is something that, I think every multiversian should experience, but especially if you're a horror fan, you should definitely experience the Monster Mash.
I think I said that I wasn't going to try to be on the panel for that, but I like flagged it as one that I wanted to go experience, like I just watch.
Well,
so that one was in my head.
Either way, being on the panel, actually, I think being on the panel for that, and sorry, Mark, I don't want to discourage anybody from being on your panel, but being on the panel for that one is kind of a disadvantage. I think being in the audience is so lively and so amazing. It's such
I can understand that.
It's such a great time. I mean, being on the panel too.
Yeah. Being in the crowd is like, you get the group feel. You're in the middle of it.
Yeah. And there's a lot of that in the horror track. The horror track really, Lisa's done a really good job of just allowing people to express themselves and be a part of every panel that they're a part of, and it's a really great. It's the room I spend the most time in, believe it or not. But yeah, it's really. Rob says I'm hoping to get on the Monster Mash this year. My body is
I hope you get on there. I want to see how that one goes.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, Rob will be fantastic at that. Really good. But yeah, Ray, it's been awesome to talk to you again, and I can't wait to see you in October. It's going to be a lot of fun. And thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us, and tell everybody where you can find the great books.
Okay, so you can go find a link to all the places that you can buy Hunt by Night at my website. It's RE Gwaltney, GWALT. It's just my name, but squished together.com. And that also has some blog posts of mine. I didn't even mention, but I do. I'm pagan. I'm a witch, and I do tarot. And I have a tarot blog as well. And I was like, Multiverse has all of the meetups. There's so many pagan meetups, and I was like, I didn't know that. I had no idea. So I like checked off all of them, and I was like, I'm not gonna have time to do 30% of what I want to do. But yeah, my website, RE Gwaltney, it pretty much has links to everything else I do. I also just like the other day put up my first video on YouTube, which is a video essay on Nicola Griffith's So Lucky. She is an amazing writer, one of the best writers I have ever read in my life, and she's and So Lucky is one of the best disability centered stories I've done. So that was my first, and that YouTube is Ray Veritate. It's VERITATE, and don't worry if you can't find it. I will put a link to it on my website very soon as well.
I'll find it and put it in there.
Okay, thank you.
For everybody too. So everybody go check that out for sure. And the meat track. Yeah, Jesse and I were just thinking the exact same thing. That meetup. I think if you can make the time, I think you would really, really love
anytime I can make, because like, I love panels. I love learning from panels, but my goal right now, like my number one thing other than actually writing words, is spending more time with writers and otherwise people in my communities. And cons are the best place to do that. So that's going to be like a huge priority for me, is just going, meeting people, sharing passions, hopefully doing some readings for people if they're into that.
Oh yeah, nice, awesome. I'll hit you up for that. We'll
of course, yeah.
But everybody, and I was going to tell you a funny thing about your name. The reason that I can pronounce it correctly is because of Guar. So
Oh, well, that's cool. Everyone says re. They get very confused. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that's fair. That is fair.
But yeah, Gwaltney is just because
Yeah,
Gwal, you know.
Gwaltney, yeah. It's Welsh. Not many people are used to Welsh spellings.
Yeah,
Oh.
but I just thought you'd be amused by that. Sorry,
That is
everybody.
very amusing. Yeah.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you, Ray, for joining us. And hey, we got one more thing to talk about, and that's the Learn Track, everybody. Hey, if you want to present this year at the Learn Track, you're running out of time, but there's still a little bit of time. Here's how you can do it, and I'll be back to close out the show. The Learn Track is a unique experience that has always been a part of the Multiverse Convention. It is an academic demonstration and lecture and interactive experience that highlights the profoundness of speculative fiction. And they are looking to get fresh presentations from guests to put onto the track slate for this year. Now, you may have to burn the midnight oil and put in a serious cram session to make the deadline, which is June 30th. But don't let this opportunity slip away. All of the details and how to submit a presentation are available on the Multiverse website. Please do read the guidelines for these presentations and go to multiversecon.org/papers to find out more. Hey, if you're an academic, you're used to deadlines and cramming and getting them right in at the last minute. If you missed my opportunity to talk to RJ Joseph on Monday, go back and check out that show. She gives you a great layout of what they're looking for and what's important and how much they really want new blood and new presentations to join them. So if that it is all inclusive, that there's nothing that disqualifies you from not stepping up and doing a presentation other than you not wanting to do it. But if you really have always wanted to teach something or have some unique knowledge in something, which we all do, and you want to share it, this is a great opportunity in a conducive, beautiful environment to do so. It's another great reason why Multiverse is awesome, the most awesome. And it's another great reason to be there, everybody. I mean, October is coming up. We're getting closer and closer every time we do the show. You know, if you're not there yet, I don't know what you're doing, but please come. We want to see you. We want you to be a part of it, you know, and there's other avenues other than being a featured guest to join Multiverse, even just coming and getting a badge, you know. But all the things, there's volunteer opportunities, which, you know, the Multiverse desperately needs. And so, I shouldn't say desperately needs, but needs. And so, you know, if you're in the area, if you're in the Atlanta, Georgia area, you should definitely be thinking about coming and volunteer. You'll get a great behind the scenes experience. All those wonderful things. Check out our guests each and every time we do the show. We've got another show on Monday that's real exciting. We've got Toby Santorelli, and we have Chris Bird, which I'm really looking forward to. It's going to be a great conversation again, and more great stuff about Multiverse that, in fact, we're going to be talking about the meat track on Monday. So everybody get ready for that. And thanks a lot for joining me. As always, it's always time to go indie now. And we'll see you again soon, everybody.